Good afternoon.
Hey, Coach, I got you. We'll open it up to questions if you're ready.
Ready when you guys are.
All right, let's start with James Crapia from the Oregonian.
Tim, it was obviously a brutal performance on third down in particular. I'm not sure you've ever had a game like that in your career. How do you explain it? And why has it been such a season-long problem getting off the field on third down?
Well, on Saturday, the bigger problem we had was first and second down defense. We had way too many third down in shorts and third and mediums. And when you do that, you've got to, really bow up in the run game. And a couple times, we had guys, at the point of attack and didn't finish with running our feet. Other times we let the quarterback out in third and mediums, scramble for a first down. We had a third and long where we jump off sides, make it, a third and medium where, in the area of the field where they run the ball, and we don't set an edge. I mean, there's a multiplicity of reasons. There's no excuses. We've got to get it fixed. And, we make any one of those plays, we get the ball back to our offense and we change the trajectory of the game, and we didn't do it. So it's something that's obviously an emphasis for us and that we have to fix this week.
Luciano Chatelain from the End Zoners.
Hey, Coach, I hope you're doing well, and thanks for your time. What are your thoughts on BJ Baylor, and what would you say are the main points for you to throw upon in order to prevent them from having a performance like you just in the running game?
Well, he's an excellent back. He's compact. He's got good burst, vision, patience. Really good back in their scheme. They're going to run a lot of stretch zone scheme. I think their offensive front does a really nice job of staying with their blocks. They really are effective in what they do, and he's an excellent back in that scheme. He's powerful. He breaks tackles, and he's got the speed to take it off the top. So really not much different than the back they had last year. Unfortunately for defenses, we've got to do a great job of setting firm edges, better than we did last week. And you've got to get multiple guys to the point of attack because he's a guy that runs through the first tackler.
Jerry Thompson, Ducks Illustrated.
Yeah, Coach, you're 11 games under your belt. How difficult is it to prepare for Oregon State compared to what you've seen? Are they one of the toughest?
Well, they're very, very balanced, and that's what gives you pause. They're a very strong running team. They're going to lead with that, but they've got some receivers that can get open. They're very quick. Quarterback does a nice job. The biggest threat is the play action game off of the run, because you get guys committing to the run. If you don't have good eye discipline, they've got guys that can get beyond you. And Nolan's done a nice job being very efficient throwing the ball. It starts with stopping the run. If we can get them into third and long situations, I like our chances. But if, we do what we did on Saturday and it's a lot of third down and manageable, we're going to obviously have a tougher time. So we've got to prevent that by playing good first and second down defense.
James.
Seemed like much of the time, Tim, that Utah just ran away from KT or through to the other side of the field and really just schemed around him in a lot of ways. Effective as he was at times, he chased down plays again from the backside, and kudos to him. But do you feel like you put him in the best chance and the best opportunities to try to make plays for you? Because it didn't seem like he was stunting a lot. Didn't seem like you put him a lot in the A or the B gaps, and they just ran away from him.
Well, we tried moving him in different spots. A lot of the stuff we do is the third down stuff where we move them into different positions. And we didn't get into the third and long package stuff that we had been able to do against other teams. Again, it goes back to our first and second down defense. We've got to do a much better job of keeping them behind the stick so that we can put him in different areas like we had in the past.
Matt Preem, 247 Sports.
Yeah, just your thoughts on how you guys handled Utah's tight ends in the pass game, and then I guess to flip it just to Oregon State, it looks like they do have two good tight ends as well that can make some plays.
Well, clearly Keithy had a big game against us. We didn't do a very good job against him. Particularly the slant right before the end of the half. We're in a 2-minute situation. We lose leverage, and then He did a nice job breaking tackles. We did a poor job tackling him. We've got to get him down on that play because that really was, I think the play that probably got us on edge more. If we're down 14-0 at the half, and we get off the field, it's a different ball game. But that led into kind of an avalanche of momentum that we didn't do a good enough job reacting to. These two tight ends are long, they're big targets. They do a really nice job of in the play action game protecting, and then in the boot game, they're nice targets for the quarterback to hit. So, it's another concern. This attack is similar in ways to what we just faced, similar to Washington's in a way, similar to Cal's in a way when they get in the multiple tight end stuff. So we've been seeing it this year. We just got to do a better job of having good eye discipline and being able to, read our keys and be able to react appropriately.
Jared Denny, Scoop Duck on 3.
Hey, Tim, I'm just wondering just kind of how much it changed things for you guys with Verone not being on the field. I mean, obviously he has such a big impact on a game-to-game basis, but how does that kind of change stuff pre-snap when he's not there?
Well, he's a great leader for us. He's a steadying factor for everybody back there because he's the guy who's making the call. Now I think Jordan Happel did a nice job of stepping up, but you lose someone of Verone's magnitude. It's a difficult situation, but we believe in next man up. And, the next guy's got to get ready to play. Nobody feels sorry for you. I mean, it's college football. The injuries are part of it. You've got to continue to develop depth and have guys ready to go. So that's on us as coaches to get the next guy ready to play at the same level that Verone's playing.
James.
I know it's hard to necessarily create a lot of penetration against their offensive line, Tim, but on 46 true runs, no tackles for loss. I know Popo had a couple of stops, certainly for no gain on some of those earlier down plays, but how was it that they were able to prevent you guys from getting much by any way of penetration up front? And that speaks to a little bit of the issue you're talking about of first and second down.
Well, we saw, they do a really nice job of, having guys on edges on both sides. We saw a bunch of 2 and 3 tight end sets where they control a lot of, the gap issues that you can, try to, attack if you leave edges open. We've got to continue to, obviously work on things. We try to do some movement stuff that we were not as effective, and I've got to give our guys a better plan. That's the bottom line.
Eric.
Coach, I was just going to ask you about a couple of players that played snaps and maybe spots we hadn't seen. First off, Jackson Leduc, his progress to come back from a tough injury he suffered in fall, what you've seen there and how much he can help. And then Triquez Bridges' versatility, moving around, playing 3 or 4 spots, and kind of how he can help you guys offset some injuries.
Yeah, first Jackson, it was great to see him out there. Last spring when he was playing, I thought he had a really good upside. He's a good physical linebacker who can run. We had that injury, obviously a huge setback for him personally and for us as a defense. So he's been training his butt off to get back with us, and to have him, play some snaps was really good to see. He's got to get back into football shape and just, understanding the package. But I think that was a good first step. Triquez has been invaluable for us, being able to play corner, be able to play safety, play nickel. He's a guy that I think is very dependable. He's a guy that it's really important to. He's going to work at it. And, the fact that he with his size, he can play multiple positions helps us because like I said before, we have to have a next man up mentality. And he gives us a chance to get a really good athlete who's got playing experience on the field, even though it's maybe not the same position that he's normally used to playing.
Last question, James.
You mentioned some of the tackling issues you had, Tim. I just was curious if you had to the eye, it looked like one of your tougher tackling, if not worst tackling game of the season. Was there a number of missed tackles that you guys were able to chart from this past week, and how you go about trying to make corrections there when that had not been a characteristic for you guys, but talking about the 12th game of the season and we're talking about tackling?
Yeah. It was a couple of issues. One, you have to give credit to the Utah backs. I thought they ran very, very hard. But that's not an excuse. I mean, we're going to run against good backs again this weekend. It goes back to fundamentals. It's attacking with proper leverage, keeping your head up, running your feet through contact. And some of those fundamental things we did not do. Other things that we let the ball get out on the perimeter. We didn't set the edge a couple of times where the ball got out. And when you do that, you're not playing good defense. And so we've got to go back to practicing, the fundamentals. And we're going to do that when we come back tomorrow, and just keep harping that, because it should not happen. As you mentioned, we're in week 11, week 12 now of the season. We've got to continue to harp those fundamentals and stress it during practice.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
No problem.